Hi everybody, how you doing today? Welcome back to my Toy Box Player channel. And today I'm doing a playthrough of a song from my band, Reflections of Karma, and the song is called Walk Alone. It's one of my favorite ones to play live, and I enjoyed it a lot in the studio too. It's got really good upbeat energy. It's a little bit complicated from the sense of the bass, as in you need a bit of dexterity on the pick. It's quite active with the energetic kind of chorus. But when the verses come in, there's a bit of stuff going on. There's some harmonics happening in there, and there's a bit of tapping going on in there. Like, not a lot. It's not a Les Claypool song, but there's a little bit. And unless you got a six string, the second half of the verse riff you can't really play unless you got super, super long fingers. You can't really play it without tapping, and even when you do, you're going to play it differently. So, which doesn't so much matter. Interpret any of the riffs the way you like to play it, but I'll show you the way I play it. As always with Reflections of Karma, I'm using my trusty ground and pound drive pedal. Sorry, I had a brain fade then. Ground and pound drive pedal, and the great thing about this pedal is that it's always got a little bit of clean signal under about 100 hertz, and that clean signal is slightly compressed, so there's always a punchiness going on, even when you got the drive or the blend right up. But I do suggest for most applications with bass, you want to have a drive pedal, like a bread and butter drive pedal that has a blend. And what I mean by bread and butter, a drive that you can, like, whether it's a dark glass microtubes or a, you know, whatever, there's tons of them out there. I'm not going to run through them all. There's some MXR stuff. There's some Aguilar stuff. So basically, you want to make sure you got a blend so you can do anything from slightly overdriven to something a lot more high gain. But the most useful sound for you as a bassist, oftentimes you have this gnarly distorted sound at home. Your fuzz is sounding amazing. It's massive. It's huge. You take it to the rehearsal room and it just doesn't, you know, you're either blowing everyone out the room or you just can't hear yourself. There's no definition. So oftentimes that blend brings about some of that definition. But anyway, I digress. Let's look at the riff that happens at the intro, which is basically the chorus riff. So a lot of it's happening up here around the 12th fret, and I'll talk frets, not notes, because those of you that know notes, damn sure you know what frets are. But those of you who don't know notes, I'm at the 12th fret on the E string, so that is an E note, but at the 12th fret. So it starts with an open E, so it goes da. So that's the first half of the riff. Play that at speed. So I'm mucking around a bit there, but I tend to do that in this song. So there's a lot of feels happening just because it feels like that's the energy of this song. Like, you're really nailing down those kind of fundamental notes, but throwing around some fills. Tommy on the drums is throwing down some of that energy too. So it's nice to play together in that sense. So as you will hear on my playthrough, I don't play exactly the same as the album. So if you're one of those people going, oh, you didn't play the same. No, I never bloody do. Honestly, like 99% of the time, I'll play very similar, but not the same. Second half so first half, you'll notice there was some harmonics in there. Not super important, but I like them. I like that texture. So you go. You're throwing that in there just to give it some lift. Second half of the riff starting on the 8th fret. Now, there's a lot of sliding going on in this song too. That's part of the energy. It's just flubby and floppy and punchy and massive, so I love it. So we're starting at the 12, we're playing over the E, then we go down to the C, and then it comes into the verse. So the verse riff, again, it just starts with an open E, and then you've got this 16th fret to 19th fret on the G string while the E is ringing. Live, this is where I'll throw on a delay, maybe even a wah. Give it some of that, you know. But today I haven't done that in the playthrough, and I'm not going to do that for you because not all of you have wahs and delays and stuff, so let's keep it simple. When the verse actually kicks in, this is where you're going to need some tapping. And you can play the first half of the riff without tapping quite easily, but I do it with the tap just to prepare for the second half of the riff. So in Reflections of Karma, there's no tapping really in any other song, so it's just to get the brain in focus. So the verse riff is actually the harmonic over the 12th fret, which is the E harmonic on the E string. Then we're playing the 14th fret on the D string, we're playing the 16th fret on the G string, and then we're tapping on the 19th fret on the G string. So creating that kind of tension. You can, as I said, play it like this. So you're leaving the harmonic ringing. It still works, but the second half of the riff you can't play unless you've got a 6th string. You can't play it without the tap. So it slides down to play a C chord. So you've got a C major, which is the 8th fret, but we're playing the 3rd note, which is this one here. We're playing it an octave up. So we're playing that, and this is where the tapping comes in. We're playing the 12th fret on the G string, sliding up to the 14th fret, and then I'm either sliding up from there or I'm bending it. So the riff itself goes like this. And then it goes back to the open E. And as you've seen, I slap normally that open E, so I forgot that there's a bit of slap in there too. So this is a song with some picks, some slap, and some tapping, very minimal tapping and slap, but I find that that's the best way to get this riff across. So if I play that all in a cycle, it goes... So that's the verse, right? And then there's a stop, and that particular riff, there's a bit of a breakdown. I walk alone with guitars and stuff. And the bass and drums kind of come in with a bit of build. So the first time that happens is different to the second time. The notes are the same, but the build is slightly different. But anyway, on the bass, it starts with a single note. And then it builds back up to the 10th fret here. So we're going 17, 18. So we're starting on the 10th fret on the E string. We're going to the 5th to the 3rd. And then the rise is 10, 17. 10. 17 and 19, not 18. I don't know what I'm talking about. 19. Then it drops back again to the verse. So it repeats that cycle. The second time it does it, when it's going up, it goes... Boom! So you launch straight into the chorus there. So that goes into the chorus. And that's, I think, about it for this song. That's all the riffs together. Like I said, there's some fills and stuff. You can experiment around, like concretely. One of the fills I tend to play a lot is in this song is this or this kind of thing. Oh yeah, there is one more thing. It's the slides. Sorry, I'm forgetting my own riffs. So the second half of every chorus and at the outro, there is kind of a slidey riff that replaces the... So it goes... So it's sliding up to that E. Now at the end of the song, there's a bit of a... So it's halftime slides for the very last outro chorus of the song, and that's sliding as high up as you want to go. Don't stop at the E, just make it dramatic. And that's about it. So it's quite simple in a lot of ways, but just nailing down the discipline of going from pick to tapping, a little bit of slap happening in there, not much. And just having some fun, like getting into the upbeat energy of the song and not be afraid to throw a few riffs down, throw a few fills, whatever you want, just experiment. All right, here we go. All right. Well, I hope that was useful. I love playing that song. It's a lot of fun. I love, as I've said before, I love playing it live, and I loved playing it in the studio. Yeah, if you want to check out some more Reflections of Karma stuff, there's already a couple of other playthroughs on the channel, but check out the www.reflectionsofkarma.com. Check Reflections of Karma on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever else. Suss out what we do. If you already support us, you're already part of the crew, thank you so much. We put a lot of energy in, and we enjoy getting the energy back from you guys. So stay tuned, stay frosty, take it easy. We'll catch you here real soon. Bye.